With jQuery.filter, you reduce the number of elements returned by a query. So here, I'm saying give me every li on the page and add the class styled. And the styled class just simply adds some padding and a background color. And as you can see, I've got here the 7 days of the week. So all 7 days have the styled class added. But what if I add this filter call? So here what I'm doing is saying, well, give me every li on the page, but filter it down to just the even elements. And this happens to be a string that jQuery understands, :even. So give me every li on the page, filter it down to just the even elements, and then add the class style. I could change this to odd, and I would get the odd elements. Now keep in mind that in JavaScript, arrays are 0 based. So here I've got the 0 element, the 1 element, the 2 element, the 3 element, and that's why I've got odd. Sunday is actually the 6th element. And if I change it back to even, you can see that we've got the 0 element, the 2 element, and the 4 element, and the 6 element. So you can pass a string that jQuery understands to reduce the number of elements returned by a query. You can also pass a function to the filter method. So here, I've got a whole bunch of list items, and what I'm saying is instead of just passing a string, I'm passing a function, and this function says, well, just return the elements where index modulus 5 equals 0. So basically give me every 5th element. So I've got the 0 element, the 5th element, the 10th element, the 15th element, and so forth. And if I change this to a 3, I'll get the 0 element, the 3 element, the 6 element, and the 9 element, and so forth. If I pass in my function something like this, I can actually say something even more specific and say, well, just give me the elements. Just reduce this down to the elements whose text is less than 6 characters. So I'm once again looking for every li on the page, and I'm filtering it down to just the elements whose text length is less than 6. So all these elements have less than 6 characters. This one has 5, this one has 5, this one has 4, this one has 3, this one has 4. So if I change this, let's just say to 5, I'm going to get even less. These have 3 and this one has 4. And if I change it to 4, I'm going to get even less. Just this one has 3 characters, and if I change it to, let's say, 8, I'm going to get more because there are more elements in this array or this unordered list that have strings whose text is less than 8 characters. So the point being here is that with the filter function, you take a query, a jQuery query, and you reduce the number of elements based on the criteria that you pass to the filter method. Your criteria can be as simple as a string, or it could be a function that gives a much more specific criteria on the elements that you'd like to filter out of the original query.